Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'll go by the name Defo Nono, and in today's video we'll be talking about my personal journey of how I became literate in certain aspects of life. First, let's break down what literacy is or might be, since it has different terms or meanings of how people see or perceive it. Basically, literacy in the olden days was known as the ability to read and write. But there are different types of literacies depending on the time and the type and the society we are living in. Literacies can be explained in different ways. It's just being able to interact with the people and the environment around you, being able to communicate effectively using certain tools in the right manner. It's mostly about being well informed about how you live in your society or environment. But don't take my word for it, you can check it for your own research. So, the first type of literacy I'd like to go through. Before that, let me give you a background story of how and where I grew up. I grew up in a place called a township place called Tembisa, just in situated in Gauteng. In Tembisa, I was living in a section or location they call Tsenelong. Tembisa is a pretty dense and ghetto community where we have a lot of races and a lot of tribes living together. I wouldn't say in harmony, but we find a way to survive. So, growing up there as a kid, it's not as easy to understand what's around you in terms of like being able to talk, because a whole lot of people speak different languages. Some mix it. There's languages we call Tsotsitaal. At home, for me, I'm a Northern Sotho speaker, Sepedi, and at school we are taught in English, and in the neighborhood people speak different languages from Zulu, Xhosa, Venda, Tsonga. So growing up as a kid, it's not easy to grasp everything and understand or be fluent in every language, but then by the moment you get it, it's an advantage because it makes you multilingual. So I started my preschool in Tembisa, Clover preschool. I don't know if it still operates or what, but yeah, unfortunately, I don't have my certificates with me to show you as proof. That's where we were taught the basics of talking, reading letters and numbers, and a bit of writing here and there and drawing, which improved my visual literacy. Visual literacy, I can say it's that type of literacy where you get to make sense of what you perceive with your eyes, what you see, and understand it in terms of the structure, seeing a house, being able to draw a house, seeing a tree, knowing it's a tree, stuff like that. They built my visual literacy studying there, and some of my foundational literacy. And foundational literacy is the ability to read and write, which aids you in effective communication of written text, like being able to read something and understand it, or translate a message that you read from a text. It comes in a different ways, and it's very helpful in modern day society, considering the fact that we come from different backgrounds and we speak different languages, so we usually use English as a medium of construction. So if you can't read or write, it's you kind of struggle to communicate effectively with other people, probably through social media, probably through reading the news, which social media too has its own literacy, which is media literacy, which is which provides us with a framework to analyze or evaluate or create and even access and participate with messages in a variety of forms, like from print, which is your newspapers, to videos, just like I am right now sending a message to you, telling you about my story, or the internet. That's media literacy. Back to my foundational literacy, reading and writing. It started in preschool, going up to primary school, where I was taught the alphabets and then as it goes stage by stage, I was taught how to decode words and create sentences, um, from small or simple to complex sentences as I grow into that. And I studied in Mashimon Primary School situated in Tembisa up until my grade 7. From there, I went to Sidibeng. The school is called Boitumelong Secondary School, which studied from grade 8 to grade 10, and then from grade 10 to grade 12, I went to um, Northern Academy. So here with me, I have my National Senior Certificate. Sorry if it's not as clear. Just to prove that I did go to school, and yes, I'm literate in a way. So we have another type of literacy that I learned along the way, which came as second nature, being a millennial, which is digital literacy, the ability to use digital devices around us like phones, computers, the likes of everything digital, and being able to use them effectively to your advantage, probably using a computer for academic research or personal things like playing games, which playing games too is another literacy, which is called game literacy, being able to understand video games and play them with respect to the rules, and uh, being able to beat the algorithm set by the game, which in some studies, sorry, I can't cite this, but it's not, take it as an opinion, not a fact. But some studies believe kids who are more literate in playing games become better at mathematics, like problem solving and analyzing stuff, because their minds are already used to being into that frame of trying to find a problem or winning or working your way through a stage, more like that. So with that being said, I'd like to go to another literacy that we get at school, which is data literacy. Data, potato, it's the same if you ask me. So data literacy is the ability to analyze the data you have depending on past research or current results you have about a certain thing. Let's say it's an average of how much students are passing. It can be the South African census, the population, anything. Being able to read through numbers and specific data maybe given in words, and being able to deconstruct and analyze everything and make sense out of it, which is a literacy you might get from the basics of mathematics and foundational literacy and the rest. And civil and ethical literacy, that one I would say we are taught in different forms or different ways. It can be at home where they teach you respect, teach you how to be civilized, like the way you address yourself around people, ethical and moral issues, how you deal with those, being sympathetic towards other people, understanding backgrounds, understanding different people and what they are about. That's the type of literacy I'm talking about. We can learn it at school, at church, at home, and for me, I learned it at home and at church the most. And at school, they try to instill it in us, but sometimes peer pressure and students really doesn't cut through. And news literacy, the ability to know what's around you, and access news on a daily basis on what's happening in the world or what's happening in the globe around you. And then computing and coding literacy, this one I wish I was good at. I didn't get the chance to really get into it. I am able to use a computer to a certain extent. Yes, since I'm a UP student, I'm even doing a module called AIM, which teaches us about the basics of using Microsoft Word and Excel, but then I'm not as good in it, and I'm willing to learn. And I'm not saying I'm excellent in every literacy I've mentioned. I'm still learning, and I would advise everybody to keep learning and do their best, because in modern day society, the best favor you can do for yourself is to be literate in more than one way, because being literate is not always about books. It's about different things, so that we can maneuver or survive or get to interact with the world effectively in a simple way to get what we want without having to work that hard, working smart instead of hard. That's what they say. And yeah, I think I covered most of the literacies and my background story, even though it was a short thing. But yeah, back to that multilingual thing. You had me mixing languages right now. But yes, that's it for today, and this is for my JLZ activity 3.2, which is about reflecting on how you learned different types of literacies and its importance in society, or however you might like to put it. So coming from me, Tefonono, back to you, I'd like to say thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Ciao, have a good one.